Welcome once again, guys, to a brand new and long-awaited installment on the Visual Vapor Reviews. I'm your host, as always, Michael Cobb, and I've been waiting for a while to do this review. And I know it's been a long time in coming, but it's about time I did it. So we'll get on with this in just a couple seconds after I have my coffee and my morning vape. Love that black silk. Alright, so for those of you who don't know, I haven't done a video in a very long time, and that's because I don't really use my vapes as much as I used to. Even now, I'm still using my Enjoy Ace, and I've kind of downgraded to simpler pod systems rather than my big clunky mods like my Avenger and my iJoy Diamond. Also, I've been doing couple of gaming videos as well. I haven't really been doing too many vape videos as of late. Kind of been off the norm. Right now I'm vaping on a mint flavor from the Enjoy Ace. It's a really good mod. I like it. It's compact. The charge lasts a long time, and it's very, very very good on the draw. I like the taste. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. No, 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 no. If you thought that's what we were talking about, you've got another thing coming. So, today we are going to be talking about something brand new. Meet the Glas. So, this is just the teaser for the moment. I got the mod, don't worry, we'll get to that. This is the instruction manual, gonna read through it, kind of get a feel for it, and review this Glas mod. Also got some pods. We'll get into that in a second, but let's just talk about how I found out about this company. So I was going through gas station mods for a while, checking them out, seeing how they compare to how their e-cigs compare to vaporizers, and I found that there was a big difference in chemical and flavor wise. Like, for example, blue doesn't really taste all that good. Their flavors are subpar at best. They really don't. They focus more on the nicotine than the flavor, and that's not what we try to do when we're trying to focus on vape. Vaping is meant to be an alternative nicotine delivery system, and with a lot of the things going on, as I've talked about in previous videos, such as the flavor ban and all sorts of other problems that have been coming up. Like, for example, recently they raised the age to 21 for being able to purchase vapes. And the thing about that is that people who were 18 already before they made this law are grandfathered in. At least that's how I understand it to be. Um, and I find that I don't really like how that is, because at the gas station that I went to purchase it at, they went to try and tell me that I had to be 21, even though I was grandfathered in, and I ended up having to call the manager, and it was a big spiff about it because I'd been buying vapes from this store for a very long time. And then all of a sudden they change it. I had my ID and I had the date proving when I was born before such and such a date, and it just took a huge snafu to be able to buy my stuff again, and it really caused me a lot of grief. So that's kind of what brought me to talking about this. So anywho, now that I've purchased the Glas mod, the first time I bought it, actually, I was going to do this video a whole lot sooner, and I had bought a box and I had bought the pods. Now, when I picked up the mod, I paid full price, and as usual, I waited until I got home and I was going to do the video. Now, the precursor to this video will not be uploaded simply because of my utter disappointment and fury at it. When I opened the box up and was about to take it out, in the video, I looked down and I slid the box out of its holding case, only to see that it was completely empty. No charger, no instruction manual, no mod, and it just really pissed me off. So I went back to the store to find out what was happening, and it turned out that I would have to contact Glas itself to actually get another mod. But either way, I decided to just deal with it and pick up another one and waited till they came in. So now, about 2 weeks later, I'm doing this video. So anywho, let's get to this. One quick puff off my ice before we get back and get into this. All right, so here we are with the Glas mod. Now this is a wonderful, wonderful mod from what I've seen so far. I've tried it a couple times already. I've taken a few puffs off it, and I really like the sleek feel of it. It really and you can see the 2 connector points. One thing I don't like about it is the fact that it has a specific way you have to put the pod in. You can't just switch it around. With the Ace and the Jewel and other pod systems of the like, there is no lock, so I can put it in like that or like that, and it really doesn't matter. It still vapes like this. Doesn't matter. With the Glas, that was one of the big downsides I noticed. It has the micro USB charge port, works with normal Android chargers. It works pretty well, actually. It charges in about 20 minutes, as we'll talk about when I read the instruction booklet. We're not going to vape off it just yet. I'm actually going to take this time to kind of read through how this works, and we're going to take a quick trip. So it's going to be a little bit of reading first before we get into the mod. Alright, so Glas, your journey starts here. We're actually going to skip the flavors. So actually, we'll read the flavors real quick. So we got different flavors here. We've got the mango, which is a tropical masterpiece of succulent mango. We have icy melon, which is what I have. We have apple. We have fresh mint, blueberry cake, and the original sweet tobacco. So, anywho, let's get into how this thing works. We're going to read the instructions out real quick. I'll try and blast through it. Okay, so quick history. The journey originally began in 2014 when we developed the original super premium vape device. Each one hand assembled, every design and performance element personally inspired. We are fortunate as we quickly became regarded as the connoisseur's choice. From there, we established our reputation as the industry's only premium e-cig company, using our mixology skills to develop award-winning flavors all across major taste categories. While we could have rested with our laurels, our hearts called us back to the beginning, our hardware, and we spent 2 years developing what we feel is the best performing closed system device in the world, the Glas device you now hold in your hand. It features a very enclosed system device, which is from the power center. They utilize a patented ECO battery technology, which allows for full recharging in just 20 minutes and the zero degradation across the life of the battery. That means your first hit will be just as powerful as your last. So what we have here is an origin. The pods are designed in the origin of aerospace. They've got a real nice airflow system that goes in, down, through the coil, up into the mouthpiece, and then back down through the sensor. So it really does have a nice, very nice piece. So it also has its origin in aerospace and mobile technology. The Glas device also features tactile improvements with a recessed LED light hidden behind the Glas badge, indicates the battery power and a military-grade PVD coating over the zinc alloy device frame, which makes sure your device is scratch resistant. That means if you tuck it in your pocket and your keys, it'll come out unscathed. Alright, let's get into talking about how this thing works. So when it's blue, you have 100 to 20% charge. When it's green, you have 20 to 5%. When you have red, it means you really need to charge it, and it's about 5 to dead. So basically, that's about it for the mod. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So let's just toss that out of the way. Don't really need it anymore. Goodbye. And let's put a pod in. So as you can see, I've kind of already used quite a bit of it, and that's because I really do like it. It's very tasty. It's very very flavorful, and it also features anti-leak technology. It's very well rounded. So you pop the pod in, and you have the Glas logo right here, where is your LED indicator. So let's take a couple puffs. Oh, it was upside down. There we go. Okay, so let's redo that, seeing as we had a little bit of a hiccup. So we have the glass indicator on this side, and you'll see it light up. Right off the bat, first thing I notice about this, actually real quick before we get to that, this is what a pod looks like. It comes with that little protector at the bottom. It has a very nice connector piece. One thing I don't, as I said, I don't like about it, you can only put this in a certain way. So if you turn it around, you can't click it in, you can't vape it. So you have to put it in one specific way. That was one of the cons I noticed. But right off the bat, so first thing I notice, the airflow, as it said in the diagram, goes in through that little hole right there at the mouthpiece, goes in, down, up through the coil, and then back down through the sensor. So it knows when how you're hitting it. First thing I hit off this, the flavor is very rich, very intense, very powerful. The mint is kind of on the exhale, while the melon is right as you inhale. And the flavor is super intense. I've noticed that right off the bat. I really like it because I've always been a huge flavor connoisseur. I really like different flavors, and the fact that they put that much effort into the melon really popping means a lot. Huh. Odd. Huh. I guess that means that's what it means when the pod is dead, maybe? I think it senses when the pod is empty. I have no idea, actually, on that part. Let me see. Is there some toilet paper I can use to clean it off? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to use some toilet paper to clean off the sensor, because I've noticed it's not hitting now for some reason. So, and actually I wasn't expecting it to do that, so I'm kind of weirded. It's a little different. I'm not expecting that, but we'll see how that fixes real quick. Just dry off the sensor a little bit. See if that fixes the problem. I think maybe it's just because the pod is a little... No, hold on. There we go. Yep, that was the problem. Alright, so back to what I was saying, the flavor is very rich. These are the icy melon pods. They contain glycerin, propylene glycol, natural and artificial flavors, and tobacco-free nicotine, which is definitely pretty good. Definitely love how rich the flavor is. Very, it's a very compact design. It feels hefty in the hand. It feels like a good piece, and very, very much like how you can't see the LED until it's lit up. Definitely a good mod. So all in all, I'd give this a 9 out of 10 because it's a really good device. It's sleek, it's tasty, doesn't have most of the problems like Juul's. And I love how they kept with the original 4 flavors. Most vapes on the market and for closed pod systems use something different. However, that's why I went with the Ace, because it uses the vegetable glycerin as well. But let's do a comparison in vape production real quick. So we'll start off with the Ace and give as big as a hit we can, and then we'll go with the Glas and see how well that does. Alright, not a bad cloud for a closed pod system on the Ace. Now let's see what we got for the Glas. Hold up, I'm gonna take a quick sip of my coffee. Alright, let's try this out. So we saw how big the cloud on the Ace was. Let's see how well this Glas does. Pretty much the same. I mean, the flavor is much more prominent on the Glas than my Ace, and I think this might be my go-to mod from now on. I really like it, and how it hits. And the fast recharging thing is a really good thing too. So Glas, if you end up watching this, something I would recommend is first I would make the pods interchangeable, meaning being able to, or omniversal, so to speak, able to work no matter which direction you put them in. Also, I would change the charging piece to a magnetic lock, so that the piece just magnetically locks in, kind of like the Views Alto. That would be a really good innovation to it. But all in all, this is a really good device. I really like the sleekness of it, how smooth it is, and how hefty it feels in my hand. I really like the vapor production and how well the flavor carries through the vapor. And that first initial puff really took my breath away with the flavor. So props on that to you, Glas. I would also recommend making variant nicotine levels rather than just 5%, because some people might find nicotine levels in increments a lot easier to switch than smoking cigarettes, because that's why a lot of people turn to vapes. So all in all, really good mod, really tasty, really like it. Might be my go-to closed system device from now on. So thanks so much for watching this video. It's been a pleasure showing this off to you guys. I hope you guys decide to make the switch from smoking and those icky sticks and go on to bigger and better things like this Glas mod. If you want to see more videos like this, like and subscribe, leave a comment down below to see which which mod I should review next, and let me know. Until then, as always, I'm your host, Michael Cobb, and these have been the Visual Vapor Reviews. Peace, guys.